Hey guys, Monster here, and I'm bringing you yet another video. It's literally the day after. It's the 23rd of April, as you can see. Still rocking the G-Shock, as always. I have no plans to change it. I might get something else in the future, but as of right now, I have no plans to change it. Thought I'd bring you an actual EDC update. I don't have everything I want to have complete for my EDC, but as of right now, I figured why not just make a video. Start off simple with keys. Still rocking the same keys, Rescue Mutual Jeep key. This is the piece you saw in the True Spec pants thing. I like it because I can put this around my belt and it drops my keys exactly where I want them into my pocket. I really like this. I have these exact ones. They aren't no-name brand, but I'm not sure of the brand. I think they're some Chinese brand. I'm not too sure. But they work well. I have these exact ones on my duty belt. But they're black, and I have the OD ones for off-duty because I really like OD. Same thing with the Maxpedition Keeper. Still the same as the last update. Pretty sure this is the last update. Again, same Jeep fob and Rescue Me tool. So, there's that. I'm not used to filming out in my living room, so it's kind of weird for me to do this. I'm still getting used to filming out here. But those are my keys. Just leave those sitting there, I guess. Wallet. Still the Chum's wallet. I really like this wallet. I went back to it over the Bellroy just because I just think it's a little bit slimmer. I ended up throwing a microfiber cloth in there to carry with because I have glasses, and that's what I use to clean my glasses. Flashlight, still rocking the Streamlight as last time. Probably one of my favorite overall EDC lights. I definitely am a Streamlight fanboy, I guess. Even though I do rock O-lights, you know, on my weapon and stuff like that. But I still am a Streamlight fanboy. I explained in the last episode or two that I uploaded, the last video or two, that I've been carrying a multi-tool lately, and that's because I've just been around the house a little bit more and doing a little bit more projects with a buddy of mine, and here and there I've been needing a multi-tool. And even around the house I've been replacing a lot of furniture, things like that, you know, more than just furniture stuff, just around the house. And because of that, I've been needing a multi-tool or some sort of tool on me at all times. I'm sick of running to my bag or to my toolbox to get a specific screwdriver or pliers or whatever it is. So I ended up getting a multi-tool, and because the True Spec pants, I have that dedicated knife pocket, which is a little too small for the knives I like to carry, but it fits this multi-tool perfect. So I put my knife in its regular spot in my right front pocket, and I put the multi-tool in that pocket. And the multi-tool I decided to go with, as I bumped the camera twice, see if I can never do that. I went with this multi-tool specifically because I've been looking at it for multiple years. I've been looking at it, and the Wingman that I have, I kind of bought on a whim. I was at a hardware store and it was on sale for like 15 bucks brand new. So I grabbed it, and I like my Wingman. It's just a little too heavy, a little too bulky. I don't use half the tools. The tool I use the most on that thing is actually the file, and that's because with the AK that I have and the AKs that I've had, I swap out a lot of the wood furniture, and I'll have to file some of the wood down because, as you guys know, AKs aren't like ARs. They're not put together Legos. They don't always fit. So you have to file down some wood or something, and so that's mainly what I've used the tool for. But lately I've needed pliers and a screwdriver, and that's pretty much all I wanted in a multi-tool. And again, I've been looking at this multi-tool for a little bit. It's a little bit more than I wanted to spend, but I ended up going with the Skeletal, Leatherman Skeletal, and I really like it. And yes, of course I got the green. Why wouldn't I? I really like this multi-tool because it has pliers, the bit driver, which it does store an extra bit, which is pretty cool, and a knife. I really don't need anything else in a multi-tool. I don't need any of the fancy awls or anything like that. And I like that it has a pocket clip, and it fits perfect in that pocket, and it's small. It's like 5 ounces. I like it a lot. It doesn't necessarily feel like a multi-tool. It feels more like a knife with pliers, and that's pretty cool because now I have a secondary blade on me. If I need to lend this out to somebody or whatever, it's not that big of a deal. Speaking of knives, you guys know, sitting down here, here's my Wingman right here, because I'm not carrying this in my EDC bag anymore because I have that little one in my pistol bag, and I keep a Gerber, an older Gerber multi-tool in my car, so this just kind of sits in the house now. Anyways, you guys know how I've been about knives lately. How, to me, I've been using my knives to do things I shouldn't be doing with them. Prying, using it as a screwdriver. I know that's going to make so many people cringe, but it's just, to me, I said this in my last video, I'm a really big believer in the best tool you have is the one you have on hand. And if that's what I have to use, that's what I have to use. It just is what it is, and I don't mind abusing my tools. I don't mind breaking my tools, because that's what they're there for. They're meant to be used and abused. They're not meant to be delicate and make sure that I watch what I use them for. It's a tool. It's meant to be used. And if I break it, it's my money. I'm choosing to spend that money. So if I choose to abuse my tool and it breaks, that's my choice. You don't like it? That's absolutely fine. You don't have to. It's not your tool. You didn't spend the money on it. You may think it's ludicrous and stupid. That's absolutely fine. But that's what the great thing about the EDC community is I don't have to carry a $300 pocket knife. I just got too nervous carrying around my Spydercos and my Benchmades and whatnot just because I was using them, and I'm like, holy crap, I could actually break this thing. And I really don't want to. So to me, they're just nice to have in the collection. I've sold a couple knives, you know, surprise, surprise, but I've sold a couple knives, and I just feel more comfortable carrying a cheaper knife. And I know some people are going to say, well, how can you rely your life on that knife if it's cheaper? I don't buy cheap knives in the sense of cheaper as in lower quality. Obviously, they're going to have lower quality materials, but cheaper in the sense of price-wise. The knives that I like to choose that are cheaper options necessarily aren't cheaper quality. Now, they might not have as good steel, titanium flame iron anodized handles with titanium pocket clips, but it is what it is. You know, I buy a knife to use. I don't buy a knife to make sure it's pretty and take really pretty Instagram photos. And I do take decent Instagram photos sometimes. I'm not saying that I'm good at taking photos. I'm just saying I take Instagram photos that can look decent in some people's opinion, but it's not because I want them to look all pretty and cool. It's because I want to show you what I'm carrying. That's my, you know, contribution to the EDC community, is to show you what I'm carrying, not to give you pretty sunset photos of my Spyderco, you know, Manix 2 in Maximate. It's because I want to show you what I'm carrying, what I use every day. I use my tools, not saying that people that buy $600-700 pocket knives don't use their stuff, but I'm the kind of person, if it breaks, I don't want to cry about it. I know buy once, cry once, and that's fine, but to me, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'd rather buy a firearm. I'm much more of a firearm guy than I am a knife guy. I do love my knives. I carry knives way more than I do firearms, but I'd rather invest that money in a firearm because in a self-defense situation, I'm more likely to go to my firearm. Now, yes, can I use this knife in a self-defense situation? Sure. I could use this as an impact device. I really don't buy into the whole Kubotan things, and yes, I've been hit with impact devices and pressure points, and it does hurt. Does it affect me from going to my gun? No, it doesn't. That doesn't mean somebody well-trained enough can take my firearm off me and use it against me if they hit me in the right pressure point. It's absolutely possible. Just like it's absolutely possible for me to, you know, evade you a little bit to where I can shoot you. It just is what it is. It's all situational. I could use this as an impact device. I could use this as an impact device. I could use my keys and hit you in the face with them. You know, everything can be a tool for self-defense. But I look at my firearm as my only tool for self-defense. You know, I can't open a box with a gun. And if I do, I'm probably going to go to jail. I mean, you could open a box with a gun in public, but again, you're probably going to go to jail for a long time. So, probably not the tool I would use. Now, me using a knife as a screwdriver, somebody might look at as extreme as me opening a box in public with a firearm. That's absolutely fine. That's not my opinion. My $20 knives, I can use however I want them. Am I going to use a gun to unscrew a screw? Probably not. Again, it probably would be really difficult, unless you use an AK mag. I mean, I've unscrewed screws with AK mags, just for the hell of it. I mean, there's a lot of uses. I think there's a video out there showing me many uses of AK mags. But my whole thing is, I have the funds to carry expensive knives. I just choose not to. And I'm not saying I'm rich. I'm not rich by any means. But I have the funds if I want to carry expensive knives. I just don't, just because I'm not comfortable with them. I don't like being light on my tools. I like abusing my tools. I don't mind abusing my tools because I don't mind replacing them. It's a lot easier for me to break a $20 knife than it is a $500 knife. And you might say, well, the $500 knife might not break as easy as the $20 knife. It might not. I don't know. I recently broke an expensive pocket knife. And then doing the same thing, I didn't break a $20 knife. So I was like, huh. It is what it is. Now you might be like, well, then you're just an idiot. And I am an idiot for using a $100-some knife to do something stupid. That wasn't my fault, but that was the only tool I had on hand. Do I trust my life with these $20 knives just as much as I trust my life with a $500 knife? It's just my opinion. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch my content. You don't have to agree with me. I've said this multiple times. This is a beautiful thing about the United States of America. You don't have to agree with my opinion, just like I don't have to agree with yours. We have the freedom to have, free thought and free speech. You don't agree with me, that's perfectly fine. I'd like to hear your, thoughts on it, just like you're hearing mine right now. And I don't mind hearing, thoughts or opinions that go against what I believe in. I don't mind reading that stuff because it doesn't bother me, because it's not going to change my opinion. Not that your opinion isn't valid, but it's not going to change my opinion. Just like I don't expect my opinion to change yours unless you're open-minded to it, just like I'm open-minded to it. But let's get off the rant a little bit. I'll show you the knife that I actually am waiting on a Coast knife to come in, because I had a Coast knife a while ago and I really liked it. And if it's as good as I remember, it's a decent little knife. And I found it on sale for $12.99. So I thought I'd give it a shot, and I bought it. It's not here yet. But I went to Tractor Supply today with a buddy of mine. Dystopian Defense, by the way. And they had a knife that I've been looking at on sale for a while. I'm a pretty big fan of buck knives. I've carried them for a long time. It was actually my first knife was a buck 110. And so I saw this knife, and I'm like, you know what? I really like the feel of it. This is almost a perfect knife, in my opinion, for me. And the ergonomics are great. The weight's great. Fits in the pocket really well. It goes in and out of the pocket really well. The blade shape is cool. Steel, I think is Buck's standard 420. If I can stop hitting the damn camera. That, guys, is the Buck Iceman. I've never heard of that knife. It's not a very popular knife, surprisingly. It's not a popular Buck model. I think that's the model number right there, if I can get the, as I touch the serrations, but that's alright. I think that's the model number, the 864. Not sure what that little symbol is next to it, but made in China, of course. It's aluminum handles with this rubber grip that offers an okay amount of grip. It's not the most grippy thing, but it's all contoured. It's really nice in the hand. Opens and closes really nice with the thumb stud. I like that clip point blade, that Bowie clip point blade. I really like that. It has this interesting fuller there, which I don't know why my camera is not focusing. I got it on sale for about $16.99 at Tractor Supply. I really like it, guys. I really, really do. I'm really surprised that I like it so much. I've considered just grabbing another one just to have, because I expect to beat the shit out of this knife, and I don't mind beating the shit out of it, because they are available out there, and even if it's not available, I can go find something else that's cheap, because I don't mind replacing tools that they break, because tools break all the time, regardless if you abuse them or not. So that's just my rant on knives, guys. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not trying to offend anybody. If you really get offended from that on this channel, you shouldn't be watching a Gun Guy's channel. But I imagine a lot of you will agree or disagree, and that's okay. Because, I carry knives every day. I like carrying different knives every day. I really would like to stick to one knife for a while and just kind of be consistent with that. So that's what I'm hoping to do with this. I think I finally found a knife that I deem not the perfect knife, but the perfect knife for me is the best way to explain it. I can get to it relatively fast, open and close it relatively fast. It's has no play as of right now. It might over time, because it is a cheaper knife. It uses cheaper, quality, parts. It's not the most expensive knife. It's, I think, a $20, $30 knife, and I'm okay with that. That's perfectly fine for me to carry. It's well within my budget to buy multiple of them, and I'd rather do that, have multiple knives that I like, than have one knife that I'm afraid to break. That's just, I'd rather save my Spydercos and stuff for a rainy day, or, sell them later on when they're worth a little bit more money. Something like that. I would just rather have a cheaper knife, and that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. As for the firearm, I had the Shield, and I liked the Shield a lot, but I took it out to a buddy of mine, and shot it a little bit because he has some property, and the thing tore up my hand. I had some calluses on my hand that it tore open pretty good because of the stippling, and I know a lot of people are going to call me a bitch, and that's perfectly fine. To me, then you're not a shooter. You're not a guy who goes out and actually shoots or not a common sense gun owner because one thing we should all tell each other, whether you're a 1911 guy or a Glock guy or Smith & Wesson guy, it doesn't matter. Whether it jams, whether it breaks, whatever it is, as long as you shoot it comfortably and you can get lead down range and on target, that's what matters. That's why I have people where I work come to me and ask, what gun do you recommend? What gun do you recommend? Because a lot of people that I know aren't gun people, and I am a gun guy. So I have people coming and asking me all the time, what gun do you recommend? Well, do you like Glocks? Do you like this? Do you like that? My opinion is go to a gun store. Don't let anyone's, take into account people's opinion, but don't let anyone's opinion sway you. Or, just go there, go to a gun shop, and the gun shop owner might try and sway you toward a certain kind of brand or whatever. What you need to do is you need to handle them. You see what fits best in your hand. If you can, rent a couple and shoot a couple if they have an indoor range. Not right now, obviously, because of the COVID-19 shit. Social distancing and whatnot. Shoot a couple, see what you shoot best. I was not shooting the Shield comfortably. Again, you can make fun of me all you want for being a bitch. That's fine. I'd rather be able to get more rounds down range on target than not be comfortable carrying a firearm because I know I'm not good with it. So that guy, my buddy of mine that I was shooting with, had a Glock, and yes, I bought another Glock. I don't give a shit. I've sold Glocks and I've bought Glocks more than any other firearm. It just is what it is. Some Glocks I absolutely fell in love with. Some Glocks I absolutely can't stand. Anyways, he had a Glock that I was fairly interested in. Not the exact model I was looking for, but fairly similar to what I was looking for. Excuse me, my dog itches himself. Are you good? Excuse me. Thank you. So he brought it out and I shot it. I shot it pretty decently, as well as I could with the makeshift range he has. Thank you. Makeshift range he has on his property. And I shot it fairly well. Didn't hurt my hands at all. And again, you can call me bitch all you want. That's fine. It is what it is. To me, if you're calling someone a bitch for that reason, you haven't shot enough guns, or you don't know much about guns, or or you're that much of a fanboy of one particular brand that everything else is garbage, and that's fine. But I shot it fairly well, and it was really comfortable. Wasn't exactly what I wanted because of the capacity of the size of the, with the size of the gun. So I was like, you know what? Screw it, let's do it. We went to a local shop of mine that I shop at quite frequently, and we did the trade. And as we were doing the trade, I was looking at the Glock 43s. As you guys know, I carried one for a long time. It's probably my most carried firearm. I ended up selling it because at the time I needed some cash to invest in other things, and I had gotten my original LCP at that time, so I figured I'm not going to be carrying the 43 anymore. I'm going to be carrying the LCP, which again, I traded the LCP for the LCP2. Anyways, I trade and sell a lot of firearms, which I'm going to stop doing, because I'm pretty happy with what I have, and I really don't want to get rid of anything I have now. I finally found the niche of where what I like is what I like. And so I was looking at the 43s, and the gun that I got from him pretty much is a 43, but not necessarily. It's not a 43X, it's not a 26, it's not a 43. I was looking at the 43s, and I shoot that gun the best, and it's the most comfortable gun in my hand. It's more comfortable, actually, than the gun I traded for. But, I didn't get the trade for very much money at all. So that's one of the biggest reasons I went with it. That, and I'm really trying to get into 45. I'm really trying to get away from 9mm. Not that there's anything wrong with 9mm. My Glock 19 is the best feeling gun I own, and will fit my hands better than anything else. But I'm really trying to get away from 9mm. I've really been liking the recoil impulse of 45 lately, especially in smaller guns, surprisingly. So if you're going to call me a bitch because of the shield, but then I'm saying I like shooting 45 more because I like the recoil, it doesn't make much sense, but it is what it is. That gun, again, the capacity is kind of meh. I really would like them to come out with a Gen 4 because the only generation this gun is available in is a Gen 3. So I really would like them to come out with a Gen 4, possibly a SF version. I don't think there's an SF version of this model. And that would be the Glock 36. If it'll focus. Yes. No. Wow. Why will it not focus? As you can see, it does say 45 auto. There we go. It's because of the light. Glock 36. 45 auto. And yes, this gun is hot right now. It does have a round in the chamber. It is hot, like all guns should be. And it feels really good in my hand. And it is pointed in a safe direction. You know, it's got the standard Glock sights. Again, yes, this gun is pointed in a safe direction. It feels really good in my hands. It locks in really well. So it just feels really well. And this gun is very comparable to a Glock 43. It obviously is bigger. I don't know if it's bigger. It's definitely thicker. It's definitely thicker than a Glock 43. Federal HSTs, 230 grain jacketed hollow points. I really like it. I haven't shot it a ton yet, but it feels really good in my hands. I really like it a lot. Don't have a Kydex holster for it yet. I always make these videos before I get the Kydex holsters. I always do. I'm not pocket carrying it, but I'm, you know, when I do want to carry it, I do rock it in that UTG that I've had since my Glock 43. I've had this for probably 4 years, this same holster. The Glock 43 fits in here. Shield fit in here. Oh my god, so many guns that I've had fit in that. Hat fits in there. So that's what I'm rocking right now. I bought a holster from a company, or I got a holster from a company, and I'm still waiting on it. So I just went on eBay and I found a guy that sells cheap Kydex holsters for 20 bucks, and I just bought one of those because the guy got good reviews. So I might just cancel that one that I bought prior, because I really want to carry the thing. Like today I carried my 1911, and the thing sags pretty hard on my pants. Not that I don't like carrying it, it's the best gun I shoot, but it's a little too heavy. And this thing is like 30 ounces, 26 ounces loaded, which it is pretty heavy. Again, I think this way it's the size of the Glock 43. It's just obviously thicker to accommodate the 45. I've really been liking 45 a lot. Terribly Tactical actually calls it God's round, which I'm starting to understand that you really can't go wrong with 45 at all. Obviously, some modern 9mm loads have some advantages and disadvantages, but it is what it is. I really like this gun. I like the texture on it. I really would like them to come out with a Gen 4, because I would like it. Surprisingly, I think they only come with 1 mag. Mine came with 2. Again, the gun shop I got it from hooked me up pretty well. This just goes in that pocket I was talking about in my True Spec video. But I really like this gun so far. I don't see myself switching, and I always say that. But as of right now, I'm kind of done buying firearms. I've been buying and trading a lot lately. I'm going to really focus on getting ammo and mags for the guns I have, like my AR. I actually got 3 AK mags today. I ended up getting 2 gray Korean mags, made in Korea mags, really solid mags. And I ended up getting, I think, a Bulgarian 40 rounder, which was pretty cool. And I got them all for a really good deal at another local shop, a different one than I bought this at. I'm actually waiting to hear back to get more AK ammo. I'm trying to get ammo for my guns, and not that I don't have a decent little stockpile, because I do, but I'd like to get more. You can never have too much ammo, never can have too much magazines. These on eBay are like 23 bucks. I might grab 1 or 2, because I like to have 3 mags minimum per gun. And I only have 2. They actually, right now, as of yesterday anyway, I don't know, I haven't checked eBay today, they have Ruger LCP2 mags. Not the LCP mags. Do not, if you have an LCP, if you have an LCP2, do not use the LCP mags in them. Do they work? Absolutely. Do they run? Fuck no. Not really. Every other round I was having an issue. They don't feed as well. They don't lock open on the last shot. They suck. Get LCP2 mags. They have a bundle pack on eBay right now, or as of yesterday, for $35. That's a good price for 2 mags for the LCP2. These were $23 the other day. And because eBay can sell magazines, if they're under 10 rounds. So they're obviously under 10 rounds, so are the LCP2 mags. That's kind of like a little workaround. Well, I never thought of buying mags off eBay for handguns where the magazines are under 10 rounds. Yeah, most likely you're going to, like, even the shield mags you could find on eBay. They might not be the cheapest, but like 23 bucks for one of these mags, I'm okay paying that. Could I get it cheaper somewhere else? Yes, but I don't get anything other than Glock Factory mags, Could I get a $10 Magpul mag or PMag or whatever the hell they are? Probably. I'm not going to. I think the Glock mags, you know, are far superior than anything else. When it comes to Glock, it just is what it is. As of right now, I don't think anybody, any company makes any aftermarket magazine extensions or magazines for this guy. I definitely think we could get, you know, a couple more rounds in there. My buddy did point out that they kind of are double stacked a little bit. They stagger a little bit, if you notice. So, I don't know. I don't think there's any mag extensions for this. Are you okay? My dog's like over there choking. When he gets excited, he like hyperventilates. He's weird, but he's my weird. He's my baby. So, anyways, guys, I know I've rambled on, probably for the longest I've rambled on, but, you know, I'm going to be making a lot more consistent videos. As you know, 3 videos in 2 days. What the hell is going on? It might snow. It has been snowing. What the hell's wrong with the weather? It's been snowing, guys. But anyways, take it easy. Stay inside. Stay pewed. Stay bladed. Wash your hands and stay inside.